Hi, my name is Tim Erickson. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Backdrop Live and how to participate and how to get the most out of this event. The first thing I want to talk about in terms of Backdrop Live is that we're using a form of the Unconference format. The main feature of an Unconference is that there's no selection committee or process to set up sessions or discussions. We start out with a blank open schedule, and anyone can nominate a topic or a discussion that they want to talk about and get it onto the schedule. It's a format that creates space for peer-to-peer learning, collaboration, and creativity. It's kind of a less structured than a lot of tech conferences and that you're used to. I'm giving a little shout out to this website, unconference.net, because I'm going to use a couple of quotes from their article on how to prepare to attend an unconference. One of the things about an unconference is that everybody needs to take responsibility for your own learning. We have an open agenda and the opportunity for you to ask questions, and you need to do that. If there are topics that you're really interested in and they're not on the agenda, you need to put them there, and you have the chance, and there are plenty of us who'd love to help you do that. You do not need to do preparation in order to convene a session. If you get an idea the day of the event, call a session. Our job is to have the space available for you, but anybody can just put a topic that they want to talk about on the schedule, even if it's a question that you have. It doesn't have to be something that you're an expert at. It could be something you want to learn about. You can let folks know that I want to learn about X, and other people will show up and help you. Don't feel you have to fill up an hour of time. If what you have to say takes 15 minutes and the group is finished interacting, the session can end. Feel free to join another session, take a break, or just hang out in the hallway and sort of talk to some other participants. The only requirements we have for discussions is that there be a facilitator and a note taker. The job of the facilitator is to, at a very minimum, to hold the space, make sure that participants feel welcome, and make sure that everyone who would like a chance gets to participate. So as a facilitator, if you can maybe ask some questions, that's great. You do not have to be the expert on the topic, nor do you have to have a presentation prepared. Just be prepared to sort of welcome folks into the space and get the discussion going. And everybody else needs to step up and help share what it is they know and ask questions on their own. We'd also like at least a few notes from every session. So please, at the beginning of every session, appoint a note taker. And get somebody to at least jot down a few sentences to sort of summarize the discussion that happened. If you want to do more details than that, that is great. We will have a shared note-taking document. I have the link here, events.backdropcms.org/notes004. This forwards to a Google Doc, and we have one big Google Doc where we just like everybody to dump their notes from all the sessions so people can get a sense of what's been going on at Backdrop Live. The next thing I want to talk a little bit about is the website. Obviously, at the website, the first thing you want to do is register, but there are other things to do there. For example, we have a schedule, and I'm showing the schedule with a little blow up here because for the first time in our fourth Backdrop Live, we're finally using a Backdrop module that converts all of our session starting times to the time zone of the local user in the browser. We want to really draw your attention to that and make sure that you check, or when you're looking at the schedule, check to make sure that the times are displaying in your time zone. Because this is checking your browser, there are cases in which your browser is going to be wrong, and we don't want you to miss a topic or a discussion because you were looking at the wrong time. And because we are sort of testing this module out, we'd love for you to give us feedback and tell us if you had any problems with this module not accurately reflecting the time for you and your time zone. Anyways, we have the full schedule there on backdropcms.org or events.backdropcms.org right now. We will be moving that to the front page of the site on the day of the event. So on the day of the event, you should just be able to go to the main page and see, if not the entire schedule, at least the current block or the upcoming block. So things might change a bit from the slides you're seeing, but on the whole, I think it should reflect it. We want to emphasize that the schedule is subject to change at any time right through the end of Backdrop Live. In fact, we encourage it. We have a button to suggest a discussion topic, and certainly that has been good for the last several weeks, but it will also be good during the event. We want you to suggest discussions and get them on the schedule. One thing the site needs to do better is allow for you to sort of schedule your own sessions. So for now, you certainly can use the suggested discussion topic button, but we are going to ask that you also try to flag an organizer and make sure we know that you've suggested a topic so we can help you get it scheduled. Another thing you can do on the website is that we do have comments enabled for all of the discussion topics. Please use them. This is just another way, especially in advance of Backdrop Live or in advance of the sessions, it's a way for people to sort of give the facilitator a little heads up on what their questions are or what comments they are, or share some resources. After the sessions, it's a chance for people to drop their thoughts, feedback, or other references that they'd like to share with the group. We will be using Zoom as our primary tool for interaction during Backdrop Live. We are using breakout rooms, so we'll just have one room that everybody goes to, and from there, our plenary sessions will happen in that main room, and then we will have breakout rooms for the other sessions. And folks can sort of hang out in the hallway, as we're calling it, the main room, during sessions and chat there, or they can go into a room. We should have either 2 or 3 breakout rooms in every time slot. We will probably also just have like a lounge room where if you want to spontaneously chat with some other participants, or if you break out of if maybe you leave an existing session and want to go talk about something else, you can just go to the lounge. During Backdrop Live, there's several ways to keep in touch with each other or to other folks in the Backdrop community. And I just thought I'd mention the 3 main ways. First of all, there is, as most everybody knows, a chat feature in Zoom. The downside is that that's very limited reach and it's temporary. That goes away as soon as we close the Zoom room. So another alternative is to join our Zulip chat. And actually, even during the Zoom meetings, to go ahead and use Zulip chat to chat with people. The pros is that you'll reach more people and leave a history. The con, of course, is that you'll have to create an account if you don't already have one, and also that not everybody in Zoom may be in Zoom. Finally, there's Twitter, and the pro is we really need the exposure for Backdrop, and the more that you can tweet during Backdrop Live, the more you're letting folks know about it to possibly join us yet during this event, if not, to get them thinking about participating next time. And if you have not yet signed up for Zulip, we recommend it, not just for Backdrop Live, but it's a great way to sort of keep in touch with the Backdrop community. We would also like to draw your attention to our Code of Conduct. And I'll quote from the very first line of our Code of Conduct. A primary goal of the Backdrop CMS community is to be inclusive to the largest number of contributors with the most varied and diverse backgrounds possible. Please be respectful. So this one line cannot do justice to the entire Code of Conduct. We highly recommend that you take a look at it if you have any questions or are unsure of what's expected of you. But everyone who participates in Backdrop Live is expected to adhere to our Code of Conduct. We have an email address where you can submit either questions or report conduct that concerns you. So you should be able to find a link to the Code of Conduct if you have any questions about it. And finally, just a comment about what happens after Backdrop Live. Usually after the very last session, some folks just sort of hang out and chat for a while. There is some talk about board games maybe after Backdrop Live this time in a virtual board game setting. If that is something you'd be willing to help organize, please let us know. But please do stick around either immediately after Backdrop Live or come back and visit us in Zulip or the Issue Queue, because we would like to keep in touch with you after Backdrop Live. Thanks so much for your attention and your support of this community. Bye now.